What's up, Berserker Picture Store family? So, this is my little makeshift Boken. It's made out of a really super tough but hollow plastic. That way, when you thunk, because the problem with training in America is people here are really soft when they want to train with each other. So, we can thunk each other really good with these because they also want to wear pads and shit. Um, which does help because I can tell you right now, my bones feel like crap because my master was a very traditional trainer, and yeah, it's just to say he was traditional, a little more hardcore. He was from Japan, and he was a really cool little dude, and I loved him more than anybody. He passed away a long time ago, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna show you a few little things you can do. Um, I prefer to carry a sword or knives or something like that because in close quarters combat, I mean, really, you're more of an advantage with a blade than you are with a gun. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely I love having a firearm. Okay, I'm not saying anything about that, but when you can conserve ammo in an extreme situation, that would be great. Because I don't know if you're a regular shooter or if you go out and you hunt even, but if you're a regular shooter, you know just practicing, just training, how much ammo you go through. Imagine if you're in an extreme situation where enemies from foreign soil are coming after you or something like that. We'll just leave it at that. Yeah, that's a lot of ammo, guys. I doubt the average citizen is prepared for that. I doubt the average citizen knows how to even get ammo in an extreme situation. So, learn some kind of practical skills. I told you every night I will try to put some kind of crappy video on here because it's going to be crappy until I get some stuff back. For those of y'all that don't know me, watch, scroll through all my videos. You'll see a lot of shit's happened to me in the past few years. If you know anything about cancel culture, that's what happened to me, completely and totally, down to my bank accounts and everything else. Anyway, these are some different little things. Just going to show you a little tutorial here. I'm not going to teach you anything here. I'm just going to show you a little bit of my technique. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to kind of explain what's going on in this video. But this will be my first video like this in a very long time. I love you guys. So, we'll start off here. Slicing, stabbing techniques. You know, slicing, stabbing techniques, blunt hits, stuff like that. See, when you're in close quarters combat and you have a large blade like this and your opponent's in front of you, see, I'm at right at about neck level right here. So, with this thing, so that's what you gotta look at. You can't look at this as a head, by the way, because the head's gonna be the fuck up here, and you're gonna be all fucked up trying to punch somebody over here in the fucking chest. Because if they've got a stout chest, then you're not gonna do much. So, if you're in close and somebody tries to get up on you, don't pull your sword back, thinking they're gonna get a hold of it. Swords are sharp as a motherfucker, bro. So, this dude's just gonna be rubbing up all, like, just take that shit and just use it. If they try to grab you when you have a sword, this isn't the movies, guys. I'm gonna fuck the dude. I'm scraping a sharp sword all over this motherfucker right now, you know what I mean? Hitting them, stabbing them and shit. So, that's something you need to think about when you're using weapons, different ways. Because I can put a lot of leverage right here when I'm coming into this person's body. This would be this person's throat area. Bro, I can put the full force of my leverage behind this blade right now. Instead of trying to be way out here, because this isn't close quarters. If I was close quarters like this, I'd have to be up here and I would be stepping through it. Coming in with stabs. And you see how I'm here? My blade is still impacting the person. If I have to be in close quarters combat and have my blade in this sort of situation, I would not want it to be close. I would not really want to be, if I'm doing close quarters And my blades in this situation, I'm going to be starting off with some kind of grab, because I'm going to be trying to grab this dude, and I'm going to be stabbing to the side of the head with this thing, bam, as hard as I possibly can, just stabbing, bro. And then I would use that to gain some distance, whack, 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 stab him again, whack, whack, you know what I mean? You get the gist of the idea. It makes sword movements. Obviously, there's a place for traditional training. Absolutely. You want to get good strength for doing this? There's a trailer right here, so I have to be in a very close situation. See, now in close like this, I would want to be starting off from here. I'm guarding myself like this. So with the closed blade, if you're far away, you want to start off like that to stab. I would start off by stepping back with that. I would use that as a offensive strike, and then a stab in for the, a defensive and offensive. But if this person's charging me and I need to get into this person, get on them, you want to make sure your body's squared up with the person. I'm putting into my hips, into my arms, in this direction, so I'm grabbing as hard as I can. Problem I see with a lot of people is they don't put any intent into their training. So there's an 8-pound ball around a thing that's taped onto this pole with this reflex bag. It simulates an 8-pound head, basically. So I'd be grabbing in, then I would step over, slice to here. Now I'm on this side of the person. Now you got to make sure when you're stepping over, you can cross your feet if you know how. Like my leg is going back behind this one, I'm slicing, then I'm stepping over into a horse stance here, and then I'm stabbing. Okay, and then I can stab to the body, stab to the chest from here, blunt hit, scrape up with the blade, scrape up with the blade again and stab, blunt hit, another blunt hit since I went back so far, slice, stab, hit, 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 hit. Now if I come in close here, like I said, I do a stabbing motion. When I stab in and twist. I want that blade to rip out the side of your shit. I want you to understand that. So when I stab, it's a twisting stab. So you'll see my hand do this. That's because when that blade hits you, I want that motherfucker to twist through your shit. Because that opens the wound up and doesn't allow it to close, okay? This is combat. This isn't Playland, this isn't Disneyland, this is combat, it's dirty. Another thing I'll do, I'm fighting you, I was just a bunch of dirt and rocks and bullshit. I just threw that in your eyes. And then I'll come in and I'll fuck your shit up. That's combat. That's reality. Okay? I want you to understand. The reality of life is somebody's trying to kill you. You want to show in kind what that person's up to. Now, if, like I said, if this person decides to want to come at me, I'm going to put the full force of my body behind this shit. A lot of people would want to step this way instinctively. I'm not going to because I have the advantage here. Grab at me all you want, dude. Get your arms around me, please. Because now I have this between us. So I'm going to step down and lower my center of gravity instead, and I'm going to push forward with this, and I'm going to do a rocking motion just like that on you. Okay? I'm gonna rock your shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna fuck you up from the inside. So, this here, when I do this stab, you gotta understand, where I'm standing right here, that would be your hiatal area right here, right below your sternum. That would go directly through, basically through your heart, and depending on what direction you twist the blade, along, come right out the back here, blow your fucking lung, part of your liver out, I would think. So that, just from here, wham, see where I'm hitting? Right exactly where my hiatal area was. It's a very soft meat area. And then it pushes up under the sternum, goes right up through your heart. You can go up through the throat if you want to from there. You can turn it just a little to the left, and you can take out a liver, a lung, turn it a little to the right and down a little bit, take out some kidneys, take out, you know, it's all about area. So if you want to go for the throat area, after I'm coming in, I'm creating space here, because obviously this isn't a 6-inch blade, so I'm creating space here, and I would come in like this from the throat area, because right here you have all of this, your tracheal, your Adam's apple, everything right here, and I'm not trying to go in at it. I'm not trying to give you a tracheotomy. I'm trying to come this way, okay, across your whole neck and throat right here. I want that shit out, bro. I want to just get through there with that thing. And then, you see where I've got this sword? If that's going through your shit, what can I do here? You know what I mean? You don't have many options. I literally control you at this point, and you're dead. I control you, okay? But you got to understand, once you get a blade in somebody, say even it's your knife, okay? Hold on. I got, yeah. So, say you do have a firearm in the equation. You're not using a huge ass blade. You're using a ridiculously large knife instead, okay? Then you have more options as to the way you're coming in with this thing. You know what I mean? Now, you can draw this first and come in with a stabbing motion from here, and then draw up, pop, 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 if you want to. Airsoft, fully functional, just out of CO2 right now, so it still gives a click. That gives you more of a dry fire feel. So, you could, boom, you see how that would work? Boom, boom. So, you can come in. If you get a lock back and you're still here, you can create distance with the gun itself. Look, this is combat. Like I said, this isn't the movies. You can use this thing, man, if you have to. If all you have is your firearm in your hand, and somebody gets up on you and they get in your space and you do run out of ammo, okay, now I don't see anybody talking about this malfunction. Say there's a malfunction, and now I got a slide lock and I can't fire any longer, okay? Or my mag just happens to dump out and I'm in a slide lock, and this guy's right here, okay? Look, I'm not gonna take the time you can create the space here and try to back up, but that's not reality. That's the movies, man. That shit right there, this isn't UFC, this isn't boxing. This dude doesn't want to die. You don't want to die. His adrenaline's going through the roof. He's blacked out. Your adrenaline's going through the roof. You're blacked out. Both your heart rates are over 160, which automatically makes your brain go loopy if you don't know that. Okay? So, I'm going to create my space inside instead of creating space away. I'm going to create my space inside with a wedge here. Okay? And then I'm going to come up with this guy. Boom. And that's fucking you up, dude. You ever hit somebody with a gun? That shit don't suck. Don't turn that thing over and try to act like a baseball bat. Because once you pop that guy here, you pop that guy here, boom, you know, you get that dude all fucked up, get some elbows in there, you can pop him here, then you can use this. Do you see that? There? You can use this, boom, boom, bam. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that in a combat situation, but that's a possibility. Okay, what I would do here is I would be hitting them, fucking them up, boom, catch that elbow, and then since I'm locked back already, you piece of shit. Now you won't lock back because the mag's not in. Hey, it's fully functional airsoft. So after I've gotten him, I've been hitting him, he's all fucked up and ready to push away. Now he's not coming at me with his momentum, and I'm not trying to do some Tai Chi movie shit and get him off of me. Okay? Now, I'm slide block reloading. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking my shit back. And I'm taking that center out and I'm busting through that fucking spine, bro. I'm blowing that. That's why we do center mass, guys. We do center mass because we want to blow through a hole through that motherfucker and blow his spine out so he crumbles to the ground. Hips, spine, you blow somebody to the ground. Okay? They're going to break. They're going to crumble. They're going to hit the ground. You go through, you take the back of their spine out. So we're not trying to shoot down somebody. We're not trying to shoot up somebody. We're trying to shoot center mass so you blow their spine out and you take them down. And then they're gone. You understand? You eliminate the threat. Otherwise, there's still a threat in play. And that's not, that doesn't work. Oh shit, I'm trying to make people understand that combat's not pretty. It's not fancy. You might look silly. You might not want to do it. But sometimes it has to be done. And sometimes you have to defend your life and the ones you love. So as I was saying, with the smaller blade, you got a little more options when you're coming in over here. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you can really fire off on somebody with the little blade. So you got all kinds of options. So stabbing options. So it gets a little. So you can go whap whap whap, whap whap whap. You can do the up and down stabs. You can go side stab, sides, all kinds of different stuff with these. Gut somebody. Basically the same situation I just told you. I don't like to carry a knife under a certain size. And in the state of Florida, as long as you open carry, you can carry a blade at any size. You can carry a fucking sword on your back. That's the only thing they have good here. It was just permitless carry that was signed. That was not constitutional carry. Please stop calling it that. So, boom, whap, wah. So you want to get used to also, you know what I'm saying, following through without cutting yourself. That's the problem. That's why I say start off. That's why my practice sword is a poke. And also, I really don't want to hit shit with my real sword. That's just dumb. Don't go out hitting trees. If you buy a real sword and it's expensive, don't go out hitting trees with it. You're disrespecting it. Please don't do that. Your sword is sacred. It's your soul. Okay. I know I'm not explaining that very well. I have a TBI. I still fully understand the principles that were ingrained into me. I just don't explain them well anymore. But I can teach and I can show you things. And I can give you history too, if you need it. But you want to be ambidextrous with everything you do. So, if you can use it with one side, you need to be able to use it with the other side. So a lot of people want to do knife techniques different ways, certain ways that they like it. When I stab, it's more of a whipping, thrusting motion, like. So that's slow motion on that bag, by the way, obviously. I want to see intent. I want to see you moving your body. I'm planted with my toe, my heel up, this foot's flat on the ground, and I'm twisting into this. So I would be twisting into this. You see how that's coming in? Twisting, so after it's impacting, it's twisting through. And then I would come up to the front, your whole shit right here, okay? You can even come into the throat from here. real easy. You don't have to do all of this. Okay, so just from here, just moving your hips and putting your body into this. You don't have to do this. You can do this. It works in certain situations, in long striking situations. You know what I mean? When you're in close, just put your body into that shit and don't stab yourself. You gotta practice. So I'd be creating my space here. This is my space creator. And then I'd be coming up. Coming in with my body. Okay, my body's doing the work. So it's like this part of me is attached in here and I'm twisting. You understand? So when you're doing this, you're expending a lot of, your body wants to do a lot of things at one time. Okay, and for a layman, this, see how much more energy I'm expending there? Like, I'm really having to expend energy. So if you want to be in a long-term combat situation, hand on hand, say you got this guy here, boom, you're having to take him out, okay? And then you just happen to hear a guy behind you, so boom, you turn around and start attacking here, like this, you know what I mean? And you get the space away from that guy. Your firearms out at the moment. Your buddy's on the ground over here, you don't know if he's alive or dead. You got a million things going on. You don't want to create a lot of extra big, long movements if you don't have to. So when you're coming to that is all you need. This is a sharp blade. I'm gonna penetrate, I promise. You don't need 1,000 pounds of pressure to penetrate a knife in the skin, okay? So that's good enough over that. I see a lot, that works, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of situations where that, but also, see that? Okay, when you hit somebody with a blade flat on and it just sinks, it does damage. But when you flick that blade into them, not only are you getting fast recoil on your defense, so you're you know what I'm saying? It's just like you're fighting. You're not changing anything about how you're fighting in real life. If you do, so you're a boxer. You know what I'm saying? You got your cross. You know what I'm saying? That's flicking out like that. So you're already, muscles are trained for that. You can already do it on both arms because you've been boxing, okay? That's your boxing knife style, okay? You do other, depends on what you might be doing. If you're doing Aikido movements, stuff like that, that's your knife flicking, you know what I'm saying? So it flicks out, once my technique comes out, it flicks out like that. I don't lift my hands off of it, I'm just allowing my wrist to flick, okay? So either way, you do Wing Chun, you know what I mean? So you're already trained in these techniques if you do these specific things. But the flicking and the twisting causes so much more, it's so much more detrimental to your body. It's just like, when you stab on, it sinks in and it stays, and your first instinct is just pull it out. Your first instinct, it should be to twist this shit out of that motherfucker and just try to rip it out. That would be my first instinct, okay? So, this does all of that in one fell swoop. You're not getting stuck right here like this to pull out and stab again. You know what I mean? That's if you're in here just fucking this body up. But if you're out here and you're fighting, you know what I mean? See how much faster that is? It's like the difference between a Bruce Lee punch and, so you're just here, you don't even have to put a lot of power into it. You're just here, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I just cut that motherfucker open. Okay, I'm done with that for the night, guys. But you get what I'm saying on that, right? So, that's all I'm going to do tonight. Holy shit, that's 24 minutes. I love you guys.